What is up, everybody? Ryan from Sports Card Radio. Feels like it's been a little while since we've done a video, but I got a little something for you today. Flipping cards on checkoutmycards.comc.com. Before I get into it, I want to mention that I was not, not paid by Check Out My Cards to do this video. They do not know that I am doing this video. But really, just wanted to share my experiences using Check Out My Cards. Overall, it's just a really, really fun website. I've been using it for many years. And my strategies about flipping cards has evolved over time and changed over time, and I'll talk about that. But before we get into all those strategies, I need to drill some things into your head about the website and about flipping cards on Check Out My Cards. One, this video is about flipping cards only, and I'm showing you several examples of those, and you can see it says it's going to be the third column, the purchase price. I purchased that card on Check Out My Cards. I never had that card in my possession. I never sent that card in. I never paid the Check Out My Cards processing fees and all that stuff. Didn't pull that card out of a pack. That card was somebody else's. I merely bought it and put a different price on it. Instantaneously, it can happen in less than a second. You can find a card you want to buy, click buy, and reprice it. Boom, you're done. That is what this video is about. Flipping cards that are already on Check Out My Cards. I will not talk about sending cards in. That's a whole different fee structure. It's very complicated. It involves your purchase price for those cards, sending those cards in. That costs money. Check Out My Cards charges a minimum of 25 cents per card to upload it to the site. So you're talking about, potentially 50, 60 cents in fees before you even get out of bed. That's not what this video is about. I'm going to be talking about buying cards that are already for sale on Check Out My Cards and just repricing it. That's what I mean by flipping. Second thing I need to drill into your head, Check Out My Cards is not get rich quick. This is not a get rich quick video. You are not going to be able to spend hours a day on Check Out My Cards and pay your bills and have a full-time job flipping cards on Check Out My Cards. It's just not possible. So you have to be very patient when selling these cards, and also you need to set reasonable expectations. And I'm showing you some of my yearly stats where, aside from really a blip on the radar where I had a lot of sales in 2012, we're really talking about $3,500 a year. And when you amortize out all the fees, which I will show you in this video, I will show you exactly how much I have made on Check Out My Cards. We're not talking about a lot of money, but it's still profitable. It doesn't take up a whole lot of time. And above all else, I've had a lot of fun on this website. So not only have I made a little bit of money, it certainly doesn't put a dent into my bankroll. I've made a little bit of money, but above all else, it's been a lot of fun. So again, Check Out My Cards is not get rich quick. This isn't a get rich quick video. You can turn it off right now if you think you're going to be, raking in thousands of dollars a month flipping baseball cards. But you can make money. You definitely can make money, but just set your expectations at a reasonable level. And the last thing I want you to consider is Check Out My Cards and eBay are two totally different sites, and you need to think about them in two totally different ways if you're trying to sell cards and try to scratch out some money each month. One, Check Out My Cards is not as liquid as eBay. If you need to pay your bills, if you need money quick, go to eBay. You'll be able to turn that inventory over much quicker, get money into your account much quicker. As I was saying, you have to be very patient on Check Out My Cards and set that expectation. But to that end, are you able to flip cards on eBay like you can on Check Out My Cards? No, you can't instantaneously buy something on eBay and seconds later put a different price on it and have it listed for sale. No, you gotta pay for it. You gotta wait for the seller to ship it to you. You gotta get it, and then maybe you use the same picture, or you have to rescan it or relist it. That sounds like a complicated mess. At least on Check Out My Cards, you can buy cards and instantaneously sell them. It cuts out the bubble mailers. It cuts out the communications with buyers. On Check Out My Cards, you do not communicate with buyers. You cannot get messages from buyers. They can send you offers, but there's no way for them to send you any kind of comment. There's also no feedback on Check Out My Cards. It's a little bit more of an anonymous selling platform, although you do have a username. And just a quick technical thing that you need to do before you start flipping cards on Check Out My Cards. You just need to trust me and do this. Under your dashboard, you need to go down to Account Menu tab, and you need to click on Profile and Options. And you just scroll down. It's under Outgoing Offers. It says Buying Mode. And it says Simplified Shipping Mode and Advanced Reselling Mode. Well, you want to be in Advanced Reselling Mode if you want to flip, because it says clearly here, if you are a seller that is interested in buying and relisting cards, aka flipping, we recommend Advanced Reselling Mode. So you just need to trust me on that. You would be paying more per card when you're trying to flip your cards. Even though you'd be getting that money back on the back end, there's no sense in you paying that 25 cents fee that Check Out My Cards charges per card when you make a purchase. But if you're a flipper, you don't have to pay that fee. Now, if you decide to buy a card and send it to yourself, now if you decide, oh, well, I'm not going to try to flip this card, I'm just going to buy this card. If you are under Advanced Reselling Mode, when you go to ship that card, you will have to pay that 25-cent fee then. So just keep that in mind. It's not a way to skirt fees. It's not a way to dodge fees on Check Out My Cards. It's just a way to, when you're flipping cards, you don't have to pay that 25-cent fee that Check Out My Card charges when they ship a card. So let's talk about the fees associated with flipping cards on Check Out My Cards. They're actually fairly straightforward for flipping, and hopefully I don't make them sound complicated. So you are charged 1 cent per month for cards priced over 75 cents. And these are you are only charged for cards that you have for sale. If you just have a card in your account and you want to wait, or you have it listed not for sale, you don't ever get charged the storage fee for that. So if you have one card in your account and you have it priced at 74 cents or 75 cents, you will not get charged this 1 cent. Anything below 75 cents, you will not get charged. So if you have, like me, 20,000 cards in your account and you have them all priced under 75 cents, you will not get charged any storage fees by Check Out My Cards. Now, if for every card that you have priced above 75 cents, you will get charged 1 penny. So for example, I have over 21,000 cards. Last month, I got charged $4.31 for storage fees. So that means I have about 430 cards that are priced over 75 cents. So it gives a little insight and a little window into maybe my strategy is that I have a lot of low end cards because I do not want to pay this 1 cent storage fee per month. So the second fee associated with flipping cards on Check Out My Cards is when you go to cash out. So let's say you have $100 in your account and you want to withdraw all of that. Check Out My Cards charges 20% when you cash out. So if you have $100 and you hit the cash out button, you will get either a PayPal or a check for $80. And I will explain how much I have deposited and how much I have withdrawn over the years, and with that 20% cash out, and give you an example of how much money I have made on the site. So if it hasn't become painfully obvious, my strategy is to turn low-end cards and flip them over and over and over again until you are working with house money. And I'll provide you a specific example of my own account. I have deposited onto Check Out My Cards in 5 years $3,010. That has been my total deposits, and actually half of that was in 2011. My total withdrawals, and that's reflecting the 20% cash out fee they charge you, has been $6,695.57. So in 5 years, I've been able to get my entire investment back, withdraw that money, and also have a nice profit of $3,685.57. So while withdrawing, $3,600 in 5 years really isn't anything to write home about, keep in mind that I have a Check Out My Cards account with 28,000 cards, that everything that I sell now is pure 100% profit in terms of the money that I've deposited and withdrawn. I've already withdrawn $3,600. I've already paid for all these cards. Everything in my account that I sell is literally pure 100% profit. So that's what I'm talking about, turning cards over over and over and over and over again, and fight yourself to hit that withdraw button. Instead, just keep finding deals, keep adjusting your strategies to buy cards over and over and over again until you're working with pure profit. And maybe at some point, when you feel it's necessary, you can hit that cash out button and have a nice, maybe a potentially nice little steady stream of income, monthly income from Check Out My Cards. So let me walk you through some of my buying strategies and buying habits over the years. And the strategies have really changed over the years. But so I'll have to kind of walk you through year by year and explain to you, the cards I purchase and really how I purchase them. Really, you can see in my yearly sales chart here that 2012 was just an explosive year. $14,000 in total sales. I sold over $34,000 in cards. I was heavily at this time buying what they call portfolios, or basically you're buying somebody's entire account when you're doing this on Check Out My Cards. People can actually do this. You can list your entire account, or actually a partial portion of your account, so that you can sell a whole bunch of cards at one time, and you don't have to sell cards individually. You can just sell everything in one shot if you want the money, or you, for whatever reason you just want to do it. So back in 2011, 2012, I was heavy into it, and really the best deal that I ever got on the site, and really which kind of sparked all this, is I bought 10,000 hockey cards for 9 cents each, and I literally doubled my money on that in less than a year. It was one of the best deals I ever gotten. Even today, if you want to sell me, if you have 10,000 hockey cards in your Check Out My Cards account and you want to sell them for $900, get a hold of me. So I bought those 10,000 hockey cards from one seller, and he listed them for sale in the promotion section as a whole portfolio. I bought them and I repriced them, and I sold them one at a time, boop, 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 over the years. And it maybe took about a year and a half before I was able to clear through that entire 10,000 card purchase that I made, and it just ended up being one of the better deals that I ever had. And so I kept doing that over and over. Usually, at that time, not many people had 10,000 card portfolios that they were willing to sell, but so I was buying smaller portfolios and just repricing the cards and being a little more patient and selling the cards over a span of a few years instead of trying to sell all the cards at once. So that was really my strategy back in 2011, 2012, and probably early there in 2013, where I was just trying to find people who wanted to sell every single card they had. For a really good deal. A lot of times I got some incredible deals, and my profit margin, as you can see, now that I'm totally playing with house money, every single card that I have on Check Out My Cards is pure profit. It ends up being you end up being able to turn these cards over and over and over again until you get to that point where literally every card that I sell is now pure profit in the bank. Buying portfolios on Check Out My Cards, though, takes some time, and it takes some. It also takes some skill. There are a lot of portfolios that get listed for sale on Check Out My Cards, and very, very few of them are worth buying. And I want to stress that. For every 100 portfolios that get listed for sale on Check Out My Cards, I would maybe buy 1 or 2 of them at most. One actually flipping strategy is to buy a bunch of cards individually and then put it into a portfolio and sell it like that. So you have to be wary of that there are actually flippers who are trying to flip entire portfolios. That's a buying strategy. So you want to be very patient. If you want to get into buying portfolios, you gotta start looking at them, doing some research on what maybe is a good price to pay. I got so good that I was buying 1,000, 5,000 card portfolios, and I could look at 10 cards in the guy's account and know if I wanted to send a deal. I mean, I never went through tens or hundreds of pages on a portfolio. I could literally just look at a few cards, probably his highest price cards and his lowest price cards, and really get a feel for what kind of offer I wanted to send. It really, once you kind of get into it and you dive into it, it really becomes a lot easier. But please be careful. Don't just dive in there thinking you're going to find 10,000 hockey cards for $900. You're going to have to spend the time. And like I said, for every 100 portfolios on Check Out My Card that gets listed, 1 might be worth buying. Or 1 you might be able to reach a deal on. So just keep that in mind. So my buying strategies there in 2011, 2012, and 2013 were to buy these portfolios and just kind of turn the inventory over and over. But I don't know, maybe I just got tired of that, or I cashed out my original investment. So my strategies really changed kind of in 2013 and going forward. And I really actually use this next strategy I'm talking about quite often, and still use it to this day. And it's really buying cards at key times. Check out my cards. It runs very big kind of promotions. Usually it's a couple times a year where they allow every seller on their site to run a free promotion and discount every single card they have on the site. Usually that's an added feature on Check Out My Cards. It's a way for them to monetize the site. They charge sellers to run a portfolio sale ad, or they charge sellers to run a promotion ad. But during Black Friday and the Black Friday weekend and Cyber Monday, they allow every single seller on the site to list have a free promotion, and it really ends up being a pretty good value. And almost well over half, but probably closer to 75% of the sellers on that site take advantage of this and really heavily discount their cards. So this is a very key time to buy. When everybody, and it's very similar to like an old stock market analogy, when everybody's looking to sell, that's when you want to buy. So during Black Friday, they have sometimes they have like a spring cleaning where during kind of March and April, they'll run a big sale and they'll give free promotions to sellers. You want to be buying at this time. Now you could run your promotion and try to sell some cards, but honestly, don't spend too much time trying to sell your own cards. You have years to sell these cards for a profit, okay? If you're taking a long-term horizon, if you're patient and you're setting your expectations at a reasonable level, you have years to sell these cards. Don't sit there and stress out and make sure every card is priced the lowest and all that. You have all the time in the world to do that. Buy during Black Friday. Buy. Anytime they run really kind of a big promotion on the site to draw in buyers and to get the sellers to discount those cards. Buy. During Black Friday, the recent Black Friday sales, I bought like 5,000 cards because one particular seller was really just kind of blowing out his entire inventory, or blowing out a huge percentage of his inventory for dirt cheap. And I just picked up 4,000 cards, and it only took me a few hours during the course of a day to buy those cards. So again, I highly encourage, if you don't want to do the portfolio thing, if you want to take maybe a little more laid back approach, just during these very, very key times, Black Friday, spring cleaning, or any kind of other major promotion that Check Out My Cards running, you might have to follow them on Facebook or Twitter or however you want to do it to get word of this information. But boy, at that time, don't worry about selling your cards during these promotions. Do all your buying. One of the most fun buying strategies that I've been doing lately is just good old-fashioned prospecting minor league baseball cards. I go to a lot of minor league games. The Arizona Fall League I've been to the last 4 or 5 years. So I see a lot of these guys come up. I saw Chris Bryant playing college. I saw him playing the minor leagues. I saw Carlos Correa playing a low A Iowa, minor league game. So I've seen these guys kind of come up through the ranks. And so it's a lot of fun to kind of track their card prices, and you can do that really easily on Check Out My Cards. I mainly stick with the lower end stuff. I did take a step out when Carlos Correa got called up. I bought quite a few of his autographs for a really good deal, and it was actually the day he got called up. I went ahead and bought those, knowing that he was probably going to do pretty well. Again, these are guys that I have seen. Most of the guys that I buy, they are guys that I have seen. So I have a little bit of an edge there. I know that's hard for some people to do that. A lot of times you're just reading stuff maybe out of like a Baseball America or the internet, or looking at stats and so forth. And those trust me, those aren't always 100 the best surefire way to evaluate a prospect. But a lot of these guys I've seen, and it's so much fun. I'm showing you examples of just guys, cards that I'm holding right now, and just waiting for that kind of sweet spot time to either sell some of them or maybe even potentially sell all of them. I know I did really well on Carlos Correa this year. I started buying his cards back when he broke his ankle in the minor leagues, because I knew that would really put a damper on the value of his cards. and kind of put him off the radar for several months. He got hurt, and then I think he missed kind of the rest of the year. But sure enough, I knew that he was going to come back, fine and dandy, and I did really well on just flipping a lot of his lower end cards over and over and over again. Really, kind of when he got called up, and then when he really got it going there for the Astros. And another really easy buying strategy, if you're trying to sell cards under that 75-cent threshold, so that you're not paying any storage fees, is just go to every card listed for sale. You can do that by clicking, the Go button here on your dashboard, and just filter it by lowest price, and just search by lowest price. And maybe you want to do that a couple times a day if you have time, and you can filter it by sport. I like buying, hockey cards and basketball cards because sometimes those cards aren't, as equally represented on the site as, baseball cards are. So definitely do that. If you're looking kind of for the low end game, always be, filtering kind of, the lowest price on the site here, and see who's really discounting their cards. So I got another buying strategy to kind of hit you guys with. Every year, sometimes a couple times a year, I talk to the owner of the site. His name is Tim. He's an incredibly smart guy. I wouldn't be wasting my time doing a 30-minute video if I didn't think this site was viable. And literally, Tim Getch from Check Out My Cards is literally one of the smartest guys I've ever met in this industry. And I don't hand out compliments very easily, but the guy's incredibly smart. He's done an incredible job with this website, and I think it's an extremely viable thing going forward for many, many years to come. And I think it will continue to gain market share in kind of that secondary card market, eBay, Check Out My Cards, Beckett, maybe forums and stuff. So I think Check Out My Cards will continue to become more and more prominent, and a lot of it has to do with how intelligent and the background that Tim has. But anyways, I talk to him a couple times a year, usually for quite a while, and I talk to him a little bit about what I do on the site, but we more just kind of talk about broader kind of hobby stuff. But he knows that I flip cards on there a little bit, and he told me something interesting, that either somebody he knows or a buyer on the site, they don't want to do this whole thing where I've sold 60,000 cards or more or something like that, and he knows of a guy that doesn't want to do all that, but he likes the idea of kind of flipping on Check Out My Cards. That's really easy and really straightforward. So he goes and he tries to find very low serial numbered, like late 1990s and early 2000s inserts. And nowadays, you pull a card to 5 or maybe even like a 101, and it might only be worth like $5 because they're so common. I mean, in every box you're practically getting something low serial numbered in some of these boxes. But back in the day in the 90s, that was impossible, because serial number really didn't come along until about the late 1990s. So anything really low serial numbered was extremely hard to get and extremely rare. And what this guy does is he goes and he has some search filters, and he searches Check Out My Cards for these low serial number cards. And I know Tim, the owner of the site, told me something about how this guy bought, so I can't remember, like a Jim Edmonds or JT Snow, like a mid-range, 1990s baseball player, really low serial numbered card. I think it was like to 5 or 10. And he bought it for something for like $5 or $8 and sold it for $120. So think outside the box a little bit when you're thinking about flipping cards. It's not always just, penny, nickel, dime, quarters, flipping these low-end cards. Sometimes maybe you can think outside the box, and boy, maybe you really know, maybe you're really knowledgeable about, some of these sets that are rare, or know that people will eventually pay up for some of these like rare 1990s inserts, for example, or maybe even if you could go older into the vintage catalog. Think about that. Think about outside the box. Think about what you know about collecting and what sets you think are popular and know that are popular, and maybe you can find an area like that. But I thought that was extremely interesting when he told me that, just widen your profit margin, sell maybe 10 cards a year. And I think that's what he told me. He said the guy only sells like 10 cards a year, but shoot, he makes a few $100. So why not? And it ends up being kind of fun, and maybe he ends up keeping a card or two. So think about that. I thought that was really interesting. It's not something that I've ever applied, but it certainly got the wheel spinning when I heard about it. Couple more quick bullet points to just hopefully help you on your way with check on my cards is, one, you got to update your prices, and I'm horrible at this. I don't even take my own advice here. I haven't updated my prices in a couple years, so I could actually have done a lot better. It's a little tedious, especially if you have as many cards as I have, to update your prices. But if you have 100 to 1,000 cards, really not going to take you that long. And you really probably only have to do it about once a month. If you want to do it more than that, you can. But you really, if you have 1 to 1,000 cards, I think you can update your prices once a month and be safe there. Secondly, not enough sellers on this site take offers. They have settings on, your offers. I have, you can send me the best offer, on the site, up to 50% off and all the way down to 10 cents. So, I'm always, I love getting offers. And a lot of times I'll give 50%, send me 50% off. A lot of times I'll just snap accept it. Cause like I said, I'm free rolling on 28,000 cards. Giving a good deal here or there on a card really doesn't make a difference to me, because I've got so many, and I've ended up actually making a lot of money on this, or a decent amount of money for how much time I put in on the site. So again, I encourage, if you're selling on here, take offers, because a lot of times the same guys, they send me offers week after week or a few times a month. So they kind of become like regular buyers of you. Like literally, I can think of about 6 or 7 usernames that I see all the time, like almost every week. Boom, here, buying a few cards here or there, buying a few. And if I'm giving them a good deal, even if I'm losing money on a couple cards that I sell them every once in a while, so what? Because they're going to come back next week and make me an offer that I'm going to make money on. So I definitely take offers. I don't know why people don't do that more. Another thing, I'm not taking my own advice here. Run sales and promotions. I haven't run a sale since 2014, aside from the free ones they give you. I do run the free ones. I'll show you the stats here, but I haven't run a sale that I paid for since 2014. Some sellers are running out sales, almost constantly, or several times a month. So if you really want to, turn over some inventory, you gotta be running some sales and some promotions, and it will cost you some money. Again, it's a way for them to monetize. Check on my cards to monetize the site, but they do work. I think if you have good prices on your stuff and you aggressively run a good promotion and you aggressively price some stuff, you will sell some cards. Another bullet point: sell to other flippers. Okay, don't get this all high and mighty attitude that, oh, you're the only guy who's going to be on there flipping. And no, if some other big seller starts sending you offers, those guys could turn into your number one customer. Like, honestly, some of the biggest sellers on Check On My Cards have probably bought thousands upon thousands of cards from me. Those guys can end up being, your biggest buyer. So don't turn down other flippers. They'll maybe send you an offer. Work with big sellers, know how it works. They may not send you an offer and you may not snap accept. They may appreciate a counter offer and be able to work with you there. So, you may have to send a couple counter offers to get a good deal. But hey, if you get one of these big sellers on Check On My Cards sending you offers, that's a good thing, because maybe they might come through and buy a whole bunch of cards from you. And another point, and this takes a little time to develop this skill, but you need to find the desperate sellers. So that's a little harder, because again, the website's fairly anonymous outside of a username. It's not like there's any real communication going on. But sometimes you can just tell a guy keeps lowering his prices, or he keeps running more aggressive sales, or he keeps lowering the price on his portfolio. Find the guys out there that are desperate. Maybe they need money, or they just tired of the site, or whatever the reason, they just want to get rid of their cards. And who cares, as long as you get a really good deal. But pin those guys in the corner, especially if you have some leverage and you have some cash, and you can throw them a few $100 or $1,000 or whatever it's going to cost to buy some of their cards or their portfolio. Find those guys that kind of need money, and those are the guys I'm always looking out for. So there, we're going to kind of wrap it up here, and again, hopefully, thanks for watching. Hopefully you got a little something out of it, and again, don't know when we're going to be back. Maybe not until the National. I have no idea. I really have no clue. Don't have any plans to do any videos, but I had a great year, taking actually a few months off. That's how great a year it was. It's gonna take some good time off and relax and have some fun. And maybe I can finally update my prices on check out my cards. So the link to my portfolio is in the description if you just kind of want to see what I've bought over the year and maybe give you some more ideas on flipping, or if you want to send me some offers or whatever. I'll definitely respond. So thanks for watching.